Hi everybody, it's Diane with Batik, and today is a dress day. We have a new dress fashion duo on our website, and it is the Recoleta Dress by Itch to Stitch Patterns. And hopefully I'm saying that correctly, but it is a beautiful dress, and I'm so glad that I was able to make this garment. It's made for a woven, and I used our Batik Rayon. This is the Durham Dreams motif in the colorway of True Indigo. And you can use our new Liriope border batik. You could also select the Downton border. We have so many options for borders, and I just think that the dress lends itself to such a wonderful border fabric. And for you out there that might be wondering, wow, how did she get this to work right? Because the top portion of this dress, and there's a princess seam here, is from the one selvage edge of our fabric, which is the hand dyed, going down into the border, which is on the other selvage. It just simply happened to work perfectly with the various pattern pieces themselves. And I was able to use the full 45-inch wide width from the shoulder to the hem without any issue whatsoever. So I think it would end up being a similar answer using the Liriope as well as the Downton border that we have. The Downton border, I believe the motif will extend up into your shoulder area because it has a much higher motif going across the selvages of the fabric. But back to this pattern. The pattern itself has a few options. I should say one option, a zipper or no zipper. I decided not to put the zipper in, and it would be a left zipper. But I decided not to because I found that the pattern piece had enough ease in it from my body measurements to the finished measurements to slip over my head. It might not be the same for you, so definitely plan to match an invisible zipper to your fabric choice, just in case, just so that you have it on hand for yourself. But I did not use that. I have one at home that I was going to put in, and I just decided, no, it will just sit there. I'll never use it. And I always have the option of adding it later because it is a simple side zip that I could open up a seam and insert the zipper. But here are the pattern pieces. I want to take you through them so you kind of understand the pattern without looking at the line drawings that are part of this pattern piece itself. But you can see them also on her website. The back pattern piece with a dart, and it's on the center fold. Here's the front pattern pieces. One portion of it has the dart, and then there's a center facing that finishes the front of the garment, and then this is your inside facing as well. The back facing, your sleeve, and you can also have the option of a longer sleeve. And then the two pieces for the skirt, the front and the back, which are both on center folds. And as you can see through these with this pattern, there is darts that give you a lot of wonderful fit options. So I would say, if I were asked the skill level of the person making this garment, I think, and I'm somebody who always says anybody, regardless of skills, should make any garment they want to make, simply because you are the one that know your skill. But I will say that it is a little bit more advanced simply because of matching the darts from the top pieces to the skirt and the zipper. But once you get an invisible zipper in any garment, it's simple. It's like riding a bike. Truly, the zipper is not the hard part. It's making sure that the fit is there, and that on this particular one, I found the darts and then being able to stitch your facing with all the curves and doing the right amount of clipping along the curves into your, not into your stay stitching, but close to your stay stitching to be able to bend the fabric in the right direction to stitch these two pieces together, the front and the front facings themselves. So I would say that was the most challenging portion of the dress. Also, when it comes to fit, the one thing that I always try to share with you is my experience with how the garment fit me, and a few things for you to think about as you're deciding on the size that fits you. So again, I measure myself every time I start a project to get the right size. And I circle in her pattern my measurements. I just go through and I circle them, and I always know with the itch to stitch patterns, and you'll get used to this once you have sewn more than one of her garments, is that I'm typically a 10 to getting into a 12 to a 14. So I circle those, and then I find the portion of the pattern that talks about finished measurements. So the difference between the finished measurements and my body measurement is your ease. And that is the amount of movement you get inside your garment when it's finished. I like a top that is just a little bit more snug and doesn't have a lot of ease down into the skirt, which has a little bit more ease for sitting and for movement, general movement. So I continued to have that same difference. I have a 10 for the top piece, and then I graded it down into a 14 for the skirt. When you're working with a top that has darts, or a dress, or any garment that has darts that need to match, she describes in her pattern, rightly so, because I really wasn't even thinking about it because I haven't worked with darts in a skirt for quite some time. But she describes that you take the size dart that you have in your top, and that becomes the dart that you extend down into your skirt, regardless of the size pattern you're using to grade into your skirt. So I just continued to take my size 10 dart down into the skirt, and when I sewed the top, let me grab this here, the front top, after my dart is folded inside there, together, it matched perfectly. One other thing that I always do, since both of the front and the back of the pattern is on the fold, I always take a snip at the center, fold, before I take off my pattern pieces. That helped me also make sure that my dart spacing between the center fold on both sides was correct, and that would match the dart that was on the top. So it made stitching the top to the skirt so much easier. I just pinned it along, stitched it, and then I did finish the seams after I stitched my seams on both the front and the back. So I think if you take the time to work with the darts and to learn how to clip your seams as you are sewing these curves on the neckline together, that's half the battle with this particular dress. Not that it's a battle, but it's really, that's the piece that really took me some time and some patience to make sure that I was getting that accurately put together. So I think, and the sleeve, there's nothing complicated about the sleeve, nothing about the back facing, none of that. I just think that the dart matching and the curves, and you end up with an absolutely beautiful dress. There aren't pockets in this dress. I would absolutely suggest, if you would like, to add pockets. And we could take another one of her patterns that has pockets and add that inside too. So that would be easy to do. So I hope you take an opportunity, if you love this neckline style, if you like the fit style of this dress, this Recoleta dress, you definitely take the time to make this and add it to your summer clothing here. And I know we're into August already. I can't even believe it, but still plenty of time to wear this dress and to enjoy it this summer. So look for our fashion duo on our website, and we will have the different size ranges for you as well, because the sizes that are in here are from 0 to 20 and then 22 to 40. So she does an amazing job with the various cup sizes and with the size ranges. And we'll have all of those size ranges available for our fashion duo. And the one thing to know is that you do always have to get the itch to stitch patterns from her website. We have a direct link from our site to hers. So don't forget to buy the pattern and download it. And use your Swedish tracing paper to make your pattern pieces. That is the one thing I love to do, is I like to always keep the original pattern pieces the way they are. I roll them up into a big tube and use a tissue paper or Swedish tracing paper, whichever is your preferred method, and mark those off. And that's how I can get the grading to work between the various sizes. So I think that is it. And I hope you enjoy this dress and share all of the dresses that you make. And see you next time.